Benigno Simeon Ayan mga guys, so mahinang signal, mahirap. Mr. Aquino was in effect Philippine political royalty, the son of two political icons in a country where family ties are paramount. He was swept into office after the death in 2009 of his mother, former President Corazon Cuanco Aquino. She in return had risen to prominence as the widow of Benigno Simeon Aquino Jr., a prominent politician who was assassinated in 1983. That assassination set in motion a surge of opposition that culminated in the 1986 popular uprising known as People Power, which ended the two-decade dictatorship of President Ferdinand E. Marcos and paved the way for Mrs. Aquino to assume the presidency. In a statement, Senator Amy Marcos, a daughter of the former president whom the Aquinos had helped oust, paid tribute to the younger Mr. Aquino for his kind and simple soul. Following Mrs. Aquino's death in 2009, her son was carried to the presidency on a groundswell of sentimental support, succeeding an unpopular president, Gloria Macapagal Arroyo. When his term ended in 2016, he was in turn succeeded by the current strongman president, Rodrigo Duterte. In a national address towards the end of his term, Mr. Aquino described his initial reluctance to run for president. He had witnessed the tribulation that his mother endured, he said, and he was all too aware of the country's endemic corruption. When my mother died, my confidence diminished further. Our family's leader and inspiration to pursue change was gone, he said at her wake. Someone approached me and suggested that I run for the presidency. My immediate response, I am not a masochist. Mas- masochist. On August 28, 1987, 1 year into his mother's presidency, Mr. Aquino was wounded when disaffected military officers mounted one of several unsuccessful coups. When the rebels tried to lay siege to the presidential mansion, Malacanang Palace, Mr. Aquino, who was in a nearby building, was struck by 5 bullets, one of which remained embedded in his neck. 3 of his military escort were killed while protecting him, and a fourth was wounded. At the end of his term, Mr. Aquino had an approval rating of 57% according to a survey by the polling agency Social Weather Station, the highest of any outgoing president in recent times. It is with profound sadness that I learned this morning at the passing of former President Benigno Aquino III, Justice Marvick Leonen, an Aquino appointee to the Supreme Court, said in a statement. I knew him to be a kind man, driven by his passion to serve the people, diligent in his duties, and with an avid and consuming curiosity about new knowledge of the world in general. Popularly known as Noy Noy, Mr. Aquino won election in a landslide and the promise of steady leadership and rooting out corruption. In an effort to connect with the common Filipinos, he was the first president to deliver a State of the Nation address in Tagalog, the most widespread local language. Under Mr. Aquino, average economic growth surpassed 6.0%, the highest in recent years, gaining the country's investment grade status from rating agencies in the first quarter of 2016. Shortly before the end of his term, the Philippine economic grew at a rate of 6.9%, which was at the time the fastest in Asia. One of his most significant achievements was the enactment of a reproductive right law uh, that made contraception readily available to the poor. To do so, he faced down decades of resistance by the powerful Roman Catholic Church in an overwhelmingly Catholic country. Under Mr. Aquino's leadership, the Philippines was one of the few Southeast Asian nations willing to stand up to China. He effectively sued Beijing over the two countries' competing claims in the South China Sea, taking his case to an international tribunal in the Hague. In a landmark ruling in 2016, the tribunal found that there was no legal basis to support China's expansive claim to sovereignty over the waters. Mr. Aquino's difficulties began early. 2 months into his presidency, a disgruntled former police officer hijacked a tourist bus carrying passengers from Hong Kong. 8 people were killed in a bungled rescue attempt. As a result, Hong Kong issued a warning advising residents not to travel to the Philippines. In November 2013, Mr. Aquino was accused of acting sluggishly to the powerful Typhoon Haiyan, which killed 6,000 people in the central Philippines. Some Western nations, including Canada, cited the Aquino administration's lack of immediacy in their decision to sidestep the government and donate money and aid directly to non-government organizations instead. In his in his greatest setback, 44 special forces police officer and a number of civilians were killed in 2005 in a uh, butch attempt to capture one of the region's most wanted terrorism suspects. The raid resulted in the largest single loss of life by Philippine police officers in recent memory. In 2017, the country's anti-graft prosecutor said Mr. Aquino should be held accountable for the officer's death before he had allowed a suspended national police chief accused of corruption to oversee the operation. Benigno Aquino III was born on February 8, 1960, into one of the nation's wealthiest land-owning political families. He was trained as an economist and worked in his family's sugar business before starting his political career. He served 2 terms in Congress before being elected senator in 2007. In addition to his sister Pinky, Mr. Aquino, who never married, is survived by three other sisters, Chris Aquino, Victoria Elisa, wait lang guys. Nasaan ba si Mamong Roy? To wherever you want. Don't know what to say, my heart is floating into. Mula na naman guys dito sa may Subic Bay. Elemento about pero ngayon guys tawagan ni Jill. Tapong ko na yan. Ayan mga guys. So, maraming nagtatanong na Noynoy Aquino, health condition. No? So, ano ang condition ni Noynoy Aquino? So, ayan. Bigyan natin ng konting idea kayo mga guys. Ayan. Noynoy Aquino, the former president of the Philippines, already sick before pandemic. Ayan. Pinky Abellada confirms the death of her younger brother, former President Benigno Aquino III, in an impromptu press briefing at the Heritage Memorial Park in Taguig City on Thursday, June 24, 2021. Their other sisters from left, Balsi Cruz, BLD, and Chris Aquino also faced the media but left the announcement to Abellada. Ayan, so mga guys, na may sakit na yun si former President Benigno Aquino nung hindi pa dumating ang pandemic. So 2019 pa. Former President Benigno Noynoy Aquino III had been in and out of the hospital even before the COVID-19 outbreak last year. When the virus escalated, his staff rarely left the Aquino's Time Street's residence in Aquino's in Quezon City, worried about infecting him. On Thursday morning, the 61 years old only son of Ninoy and former, secondary to diabetes, announced his elder sister, Pinky Abellada. Abellada said that official time of death declared at Capital Medical Center, which is near the Aquino's residence, was 6:30 a.m. It is with profound grief that on behalf of our family, I am confirming that our brother Benigno Simeon Aquino III died peacefully in his sleep. Abellada confirmed to the media at the Heritage Memorial Park in Taguig. She was with sisters Bali Cruz, BLD, and Chris Aquino, but one of the three spoke. She also thanked all the doctors, nurses, and other medical staff who took care of her brother and the nuns and priests who prayed for his recovery. No words can express how broken our hearts are and how long it will take for us to accept the reality, Abellada said, reading from a prepared statement. Upon learning of the former president's death, some supporters rushed to the hospital where they waited with the media. Hilary Santiago lives near the hospital and said that has been an admirer of former President Cory. Nagulat ko nang madinig ko sa balita yung nangyari kay dating President. Idol rin si dating President Cory Aquino. Nakakalangkot naman, I was shocked when I heard of the news about the former president. I also admire his mother, the late President Cora Aquino. It is a sad day for us, Santiago said. Flowers were also placed outside the Times Street house. Ayan, sa number 25 Times Street, guys, dyan yan, ang bahay nila ni Aquino. Yan sa Times Street, West Triangle yata yun. O South Triangle, basta dyan lang yan. Sa may Quezon Avenue, bye-bye New Examiner, ayan. Pagdating ng Examiner, bandang left kayo sa may Times Street, nandun yung number 25. A delivery driver was surprised when he saw the media converge on the famous Quezon City street. Hindi ko nga po alam na nandiyan nakatira si dating President Noynoy. Na-i-deliver lang ako dito sa malapit at na-curious ako, maraming media. Nakakalungkot dahil naging mabuting Pangulo naman siya. I didn't know that former President Noynoy lives here. I was just about to deliver an item nearby and I became curious that there are so many media people. It is sad because he was also a good president during his term, Ana Esguera told the Philippine News Agency. An ambulance brought Aquino's remains to the Heritage Memorial Park. Pending the result of his COVID-19 test, the Villada said great details will follow. Quezon City 6th District Representative Kit Belmonte also went to the hospital and was the one who told that media that the body will be taken to Heritage. Nakikiramay tayong lahat. We sympathize with the family. It is a sad day for the nation, Belmonte said. Villada said Noy was a very private person, whom they oftentimes persuaded to answer back at critics. Most of all, they will remember how he worked tirelessly for the country. Mission accomplished, Noy. Be happy now with Dad and Mom. We love you and we are blessed to have had the privilege to have you as our brother. We'll miss you forever. President Rodrigo Roa Duterte declares 10-day national mourning for Aquino. Ayan. Manila Quezon Mayor's honor humble, passionate Aquino. Ano pa mga tanong? Why is Benigno Aquino III a great leader? Yan, so 25 minutes na tayo mga guys na nasa ere. Live updates. Death of former Philippine President Benigno Aquino. What did Benigno Aquino do for the Philippines? Ayan, so babasahin natin ang political career. Aquino political career. Ayan, Benigno Simeon Aquino III, also known as Pinoy and Noynoy, was a Filipino politician who served as the 15th president of the Philippines from 2010 to 2016. Aquino was a fourth-generation politician as part of the Aquino family and was the son of politician Benigno Aquino Jr. and President Corazon Aquino. Died yesterday, June 24, 2021 at Capital Medical Center Incorporated, Quezon City. Ayan. Born February 8, 1960, Manila. Full name, Benigno Simeon Aquino III. Presidential term, June 30, 2010 to June 30, 2016. Ayan, siblings, Chris Aquino, Victoria Elisa Aquino, D. Balsi Aquino Cruz, Pinky Aquino Villada. Gold Standard Award for Political Communication. Yung award niya. Benigno Aquino III biography and fact. Benigno Aquino III, in full Benigno Simeon Aquino III, also called Noynoy. Political affiliation, Liberal Party. He was the son of Corazon Aquino. $4 million. President Benigno Simeon Aquino III, he was the son of Corazon Aquino, who served as president of the Philippines 1986-1992, and political leader Benigno Simeon Aquino III themselves, the children of politically connected families. The elder Benigno, an opposition figure to President Ferdinand Marcos, who was imprisoned when the younger Benigno was a child, was released and allowed to go to the United States in 1980. The following year, the younger Benigno, after graduating from Ateneo de Manila University with a bachelor's degree in economics, followed his family to Boston. His father returned to the Philippines in 1983 intending to challenge Marcos for the presidency, but was assassinated immediately on arrival. The family nevertheless returned to the country soon afterward, and there the young Aquino worked for the companies including Philippine Business for Social Progress and Nike Philippines. He became vice president of his family Best Security Agency Corporation in 1986. The same year that his mother was named president of the Philippines after the opposition party successfully charged incumbent President Marcos with voting fraud. Aquino left the company in 1993 to work for another family-owned business, a sugar refinery. Finally, in 1998, he made the move to politics as a member of the Liberal Party, serving the constitutional maximum of 3 consecutive terms as a representative of the 2nd District of Tarlac Province. During this time, he also served as Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives 2004-2006, but he resigned from the post in advance of joining other Liberal Party leaders in making a call for the resignation of President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo, 2001-2010. Who was accused of corrupt dealings, including the rigging of the 2004 presidential election. From 2006, Aquino served as vice chairman of the Liberal Party, and in 2007, at the end of his final term in the House of Representatives, he made a successful bid for a Senate seat. In September 2009, Aquino announced his candidacy in the 2010 presidential race, his mother to many a symbol of democratic rule in the Philippines. Had died the previous month, an event that heightened Aquino's profile and served as a catalyst for his seeking higher office. Though his opponents for the presidency, including such seasoned political as Joseph Estrada, who had previously served as president of the Philippines, 1998-2001, Aquino was considered a front-runner from the time that he entered the race in the election held on May 10. Aquino won the presidency by a wide margin. Aquino's chief domestic accomplishment was the conclusion of peace agreement with the Moro Islamic Liberation Front in October 2012. The deal promised a significant amount of autonomy to a Muslim-majority region of southern Mindanao and seemingly concluded 4 decades of deadly conflicts. Economic growth in the Philippines was strongly during Aquino's administration. Ayan, economic growth in the Philippines was strong during Aquino's administration. Inulit ko yun guys But unemployment remained high and the opposition politician argued that the benefits chiefly accrued to the country's elite. Aquino also faced criticism over his government's slow response to Super Typhoon Haiyan, which killed some 8,000 people and displaced more than 800,000 in the Philippines in November 2013. The most significant foreign policy issue of Aquino's terms in office for China's increasingly assertive posture in the South China Sea. The Philippines sought a judgment from the Permanent Court of Arbitration at the Hague to clarify the ownership of a reef that was claimed by China, despite the fact that it lay within Philippine territorial waters, although the court later ruled that China had no claim to the reef and that China's action had constituted a violation of Philippine sovereignty. China dismissed the decision, limited to a single 6-year term. Aquino supported Manuel Marcos president in 2016. Rojas, the grandson of President Manuel Rojas, represented the mainstream political establishment at a time when voters were clearly frustrated with the status quo, and he finished a distant second to Professor Vico Duterte. Duterte succeeded Aquino as president in June 30, 2016. Ayan. 3 million people in the house. Lois DIY Craft Club. May deepest condolence to all my kababayan, lalo na po sa ating family. Ayan, Ma'am Lois, DIY Craft Club, maraming salamat. Good morning, host. Maraming salamat, ma'am, sa iyong pagdalaw, Ma'am Lois, DIY Craft Club. Salamat sa pagdalaw at pagpunta. Yung kahapon lang yun, ma'am, maaga po siya na-declare na namatay si President Benigno Simeon. Ano sa pa dyan, ma'am? Ayan, napanood ko yung mga creation, mga magaganda mong gawa, mga gift wrap, kung paano gawa ng mga gift, mga special gift. Very creative yung mga ginagawa. Maraming salamat, Ma'am Lois DIY Craft Club. Stay safe always at maraming salamat sa pagdalaw. So, maulan dito ngayon, ma'am. Maulan dito ngayon, guys. Salamat din po. Ayan, sabi niya, Lois DIY Craft Club. Ayan. So, maulan dito ngayon, guys. Sa Subic Bay. Maulan dito. Maulan na panahon. Maulan na klima. Dito sa Subic Bay Metropolitan Authority. Ayan, 36 minutes na tayo nasa Papawid. Maraming salamat, ma'am, sa iyong pagdalaw. Pupuntahan kita, ma'am. Guys, titingnan ko kung may bago kang upload para please mapanood ko, ma'am. Lois, yeah. DIY craft club. Ito yung bago mong gawa, ma'am. Pan DIY science experiment, how do plants absorb water? Chinese cabbage. Ang bilis niyo, ma'am. Ma'am, ang bilis niyo, ma'am. Yung nakita ko pala kayo noon, yung nag-misaya kayo. Maliit pa lang yung bahay mo ko. Itamsak, ma'am. Diyan, ma'am. Mamaya. Ayan. 10 tamsak ka dyan. Panoorin ko muna bago ko itamsak. Mama, Lois DIY craft ko. Nandiyan ka pa. And ma'am, Lois DIY craft club. Nandiyan ka pa rin ba? Pinuntahan ko, nilagyan ko na baka sakali akong pwedeng malagyan ng hara. So, nandyan ka pa rin. Ilang minutes na ba yan? 5 minutes na, ma'am. So, pwede ko nang i-thumbs up, ma'am. Ayan, maraming salamat, ma'am, sa iyong pagdalaw at support sa atin. Munting tahanan. Oo nga po, makulimlim nga dyan kapag luksa na din panahon. Opo, ma'am. Ingat ka dyan, ma'am. Pinanood ko yung latest mo na palabas, ma'am. Ma'am Lois DIY Craft Club. Maraming salamat sa iyong pagdalaw, ma'am. At, ayan, ma'am, patamsak, ma'am, pasuyo. Baka hindi pa kayo nakapag-tamsak, guys. Ayan, tamsak kami si host. Ma'am Lois DIY Craft Club. Mag-ano ka, ma'am? Mag-premiere. So, yung DIY Father's Day mo, ma'am. DIY Father's Day gift mo. Napanood ko na rin yun. Ma'am DIY Craft Club. Panood ko na yun. So, yung pinaka-latest mo ay Chinese cabbage display kung paano patubuan ito. Science experiment. How do plants absorb water? Ayan. Ma'am DIY Craft Club. Maraming salamat. Ma'am Lois DIY Craft Club. Maraming salamat. Sa iyo nga pagdalaw. Ayan. Nasaan ka ba ngayon, ma'am, na country? Where country are you now, ma'am? What country you belong right now, ma'am DIY Craft Club? Lagi kasi maulan dito sa may sa may Subic. Maulan talaga dito. Nakaraan niya nung kailan ba kami nag-travel? Wednesday nag-travel kami sa Subic Bay. Grabe, halos hindi ko makita yung kalsada. So, sobrang makulimlim. Grabe ang buhos ng ulan. Kaya, ayun. Ayan, ma'am Lois DIY Craft, kumain ka na ba? Ngayong araw ay araw ng Biyernes, 9 in the morning. So, 9 ng umaga pa lang ngayon. The 4 million people in the house. Salamat, sir. Late pa bahay ko, pero okay lang yun. Hindi ko minamadali bananas. I just need mga legits. Ayun nga, ma'am. Pero nung nakaraan, ma'am, no, ang bilis nyo lumaki, ma'am, eh. Totoo lang. Kasi nung una kong kita niyan, last week, ang liit lang talaga niyan, ma'am. Di ba, bilis nyo, tamsak na host. Bilis talaga niya lumaki. Maraming salamat yung Ma'am Lois DIY Craft Club sa iyong tamsak, ma'am. Basta, ma'am, tuloy-tuloy mo lang yung ginagawa niyo, ma'am, dahil pagka ano na kayo, ma'am, pagkadating na ng maging money na kayo, ma'am, napaka-busy niya. Tandaan niyo po yung sinabi mo, ma'am, napaka-busy na yan, ma'am, dahil habulin mo na siya na magiging progressive na ang iyong magiging progressive na yung way. So, kung tatrabaho mo siya ngayon, mas lalo mo siyang tatrabahuin pagdating tapos ka na ng iyong ah, ah, inaasam na matatapos, no? Ayan. So, pareho lang sa akin lang din naman man, hindi ko din naman na, hindi ko lang yan, tulad niyan. Money na rin ako, nasa money, ano na ako, sa proseso, pero, ayan, hindi ko lang din, hayaan ko, sa totoo lang naman, yung magbibigay lang din sa atin dyan ng mga, ano, mga pabuya yung atin, hindi yung mga nanonood, mga ganun, papa-member sa atin, tapos magpapalipad, yun hindi magbibigay. So tulad ko, walang masyadong nagbibisita. So very difficult na magkakaroon ng ano ng uh, kita, pahirapan. So yun lang ang sa akin, ma'am, kaya ako gumagawa ng napakaraming video. So part na yun ng memories ko, ma'am. Memories ng mga activity ko, mga lakad ko, mga pinupuntahan ko, at least ilalagay ko dyan, pwede kong balik-balikan. So yun. Kaya maraming salamat sa iyo, Ma'am Lois. DIY Craft Club. So, 12 minutes na lang, lapit na mga guys. Maraming salamat sa 4 million people in the house. Maulan na umaga ng Biyernes. What to do about you? Oh, don't know what to say. My heart is rooting into. My Ma'am Lois. Ma'am Lois DIY Craft, maraming salamat sa iyo. Kumain na ako sa taas pero may sabaw pa. Kasi mainit. Mainit. Malamig pala. Mahilig ako man sa gulay ng ano. Mahilig ako sa gulay ng okra. Kunyari may pakbet. Pipiliin ko lang din yung okra. Tapos sabawan ko yung kanin ko. Yun. So ngayon ay yung gulay na to, meron siyang gabi. Meron din siyang saluyot tsaka kalabasa. Gagawin ko yan, durugin ko yung gabi para sasahog siya dun sa may nakasabaw. Ma'am Lois, sa lugar niyo ba malamig yan? 4 million people in the house. gulay. Maraming salamat, Ma'am Lois DIY Craft. Pupunta pa ako din sa ano. Pupuntahan ko pa yung iba mo. Lois DIY Craft. Club. The Father's Day. What is World Ocean Day? How to make origami bracelet. Ma'am Lois DIY Craft. Ito ay 2 weeks ago. Tama yan, no? 2 weeks ago may mga palabas. So, panoorin ko muna yan. After how many minutes mamaya. Tsaka ako siya i-thumbs up. Then, panoorin ko lang tuloy-tuloy. Sarap naman ulam nyo. Yes, ma'am. Ano po, ma'am, ulam ko gulay. Kanina kumain ako doon, tortang, parang dulong siya, ma'am. Parang hipon na maliliit. Yan, ginawang torta. Ngayon, meron din hito. Ayan. So, nung bumaba ako, habang ipapalipas ng oras. Gulay, ma'am, gulay. Kasi, isabaw ng gulay, parang oops! Di ba, ma'am? Uy, natapos na, ma'am. Tamsa ko muna. Yan. Tamsa ko na. Tapos, wait, ano sunod yan? Sa'yo pa rin, ma'am, oh. Sa'yo pa rin yung mama. Ma'am Lois, DIY Craft Club. Ma'am Lois, JY Craft Club, maraming salamat punta. Mag-end na ako, ma'am.